Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Lois, and welcome back to Agrarian Skies 2. In the last episode, we were working with blood magic, which is something we haven't done that much here lately. And we were just trying to do all the quests we could in that um, quest line in this mod. And we got most of them done. There's two more quests that we have to do. One which we need to find the research for, and the other we had to figure out how to get these ore lumps. And well, I did a little bit of research, and it turns out it's not going to be fun. Shouldn't be terribly difficult, but it's not going to be fun. So that's what we're going to work on today, and just kind of see where we can go. So first of all, I want to look at some research stuff. So in order to get access to the Eldritch Blood Orb, we need to do some stuff with Thaumcraft, and I've got all of the research for that guy. That didn't do anything. Let's just kind of look around the researches. Let's just try to get as many of the researches that we can. So we need the Transmute Permutatio. Take like 5 of those. There we go. We have emerald stuff. There's a lot of tainted stuff. I guess we can go ahead and get this as well. We need taint for all that though, which should be easy enough. So pickaxe of distortion. Infects. So harder material, the more effective the pickaxe is at removing it. So better for obsidian, it seems. Tainted 1 core, that will give us some darkness. That's fine. Or warp, rather. Enchantments. We'll need more void. And magic. Wow, we actually need more magic. Which is hard because we need a lot of void. And we just need 1 permutatio for that guy, so let's just do that. Most of the stuff isn't too bad to do. It's just a matter of void is not fun. We can get that one. Blink, we can do that. That's fine. So a lot of things we can do, but not too much. So I think what we need to do is focus more on the Eldritch. But unfortunately, until we can get the Crimson Rights, we really can't do anything about getting more research. So we're kind of stuck on blood magic, or rather, Thaumcraft. Blood magic, however, we need to learn how to do the corruption. So we made this corruption catalyst last time, which is part of the thing we need to do. Then we need some ores. It doesn't matter what, so let's just use, I guess, iron. And here is the trick. If we activate this, and then I believe it's whatever we hold in our hand, if we have enough corruption, it will change. It will turn into, it's not what I wanted. So it will, with this item in your inventory, the corruption infusion can start. And that's what we need to do for this stuff, which doesn't really show there, but this corrupted infusion. And we need a minimum corruption of 20. Well, how do we corrupt ourselves so that we can do that stuff? Well, it turns out that, actually this is the wrong book. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong one. This goes back, and we have some extra buckets of blood. That's nice. So yeah, we need the delving into darkness, this guy. So all the recipes for the corruption infusion. So basically we go back of dark magic's soul corruption. It talks about how doing such a dark ritual and dark magic has corrupted you. So basically what we need to do is dark rituals. There is the soul corruption reader. That might be good to make. So soul corruption we can add soul corruption and remove it if we wanted to, but that requires creative mode stuff. So we just need another divination sigil. That should be easy enough to do. And what we'll do is we'll make that guy, and then we'll make the soul corruption reader so that we can see just how much corruption we have. So divination sigil, pretty easy. And then we need nether bricks. So that is something we can craft. We'll need some soul sand as well. I believe just 2 of those. Eye of Ender, and then we'll need a wither skull. That is something I don't believe we have. So once we get the soul sand, we'll have all that stuff. So let's just come down here and kill some wither skeletons. Is that what's in here? It is. This should not take too long. And then we'll be able to make this soul corruption reader, and we'll be able to see just how much corruption we have. Now, if it turns out this is really slow, we might move on to something else for the episode. I don't know. It really depends on just kind of what happens. But there's not too much else we can do at this point. We just need to kind of set up systems to do different things. Alright, perfect. That's all we needed. So put that back away. And by now we should have the soul sand, so we should be able to make this guy. And we can. So soul corruption is 0. That is not good. So what can we do? Well, we need to do rituals. So what we can do is rituals. I don't know what one to do. Assembly the High Altar makes the blood altar. You give it all the stuff and it builds the blood altar for you. That's kind of cool. So no lava creates 4 pieces of cobblestone. Okay. That's interesting. The Enlightenment lights up areas. Timberman cuts down trees. Filler. So to make basically like tree farms. Him is siphoning. Pump fluids from an area. Any tank over the Master Ritual Stone with at least 1 bucket of the liquid you wish to pump from the area. Okay. Great Deletion basically allows you to trash stuff. Gate of the Fold. Instant transportation of an entity over great distances for the cost of 1,000 life points. So that seems kind of complicated and kind of useless to us at this point anyways. So really, Drill the Dead is, oh yeah, so it is Well of Suffering, which is a ritual which kills mobs. It deals damage. Instead of just dealing damage, it instantly kills them. So, and it cannot kill boss mobs, which is kind of bad, but is the only one that will do anything the Drill the Dead? Maybe. What are some other ways? Because it said something else. Dark magics. Dark rituals, such as the ones in above. There's sacrifice magic. So basically, you can steal other people's stuff. But I think the ritual we'll need to do is let's try the Timberman and see if that works. So we haven't really done any rituals, but we have most of the stuff to do it. So Master Ritual Stone, we're gonna need ritual stones. We're gonna need a couple different things that we don't currently have. So what we'll need is a ritual diviner. That should not be too difficult to make. And we might want to make it so that it can do dusk runes. So we'll need, see, we need the top one, air and fire. So we need a gas tier and we need magma cream. So that should not be difficult. Magma cream and gas tier. Now these will create different items which we can then use at the cost of some blood, which we don't have any currently, but that can change very quickly. Because luckily, got hit. Luckily our blood altar is good enough that we can do this quickly. We do need to step away because it's really loud. But this will be enough. There we go, there's the air. And magma cream will make the fire. Now if we want to do dusk runes, we'll need blocks of coal. 2 blocks of coal. So that should be easy enough to do. Now, the reason we want to make this ritual diviner is it's going to make my life a lot easier to do these rituals. Typically, you have to manually place all of the runes and stuff in the shape of the ritual itself, but with this, we don't have to worry about it. So let's do this, and that's going to make the next tier, I do believe. So we do need to make some upgrades. That's fine. Ow! Why is stuff hitting me? But this should not be too difficult, and it should be pretty quick. So after we get this done, there are a lot less mobs in there. We'll try using the Timberman ritual and see if that works. Is it like this? Nope, like this. So the ritual diviner, we can attune it to ourselves, and then basically you can shift click and change what ritual it does. And there's a lot of rituals depending on what you want. So the one we want is Timberman, and that should work. Drill the Dead, Great Deletion, Enlightenment, Timberman. So that is the current ritual. That's the one we want. Now I don't know if it requires, we can look at it and it tells us what it needs. So let's just come over here and do that. So just pushing shift, it says it needs 8 earth. So we don't need to add the dusk runes. This cannot place dusk runes until we improve it. So let's go ahead and improve it. And is it still doing? Nope. Okay, so we'll have to go through this again. And luckily it only takes a couple of things, and hopefully the Timberman counts as a ritual that will work. So let's just come over here. Let's see. Where do we want to do this? That is cherry trees. Let's do it right here. And I believe we put the Master Ritual Stone right here. And there we go. So it made the ritual. Now I don't know where these trees are going to be placed. Like I don't know where it will cut them down because I've never used this ritual before. So let's just put them like that. And then all we need to do is activate it. Now I don't know if activating it will do anything to our soul corruption or if or what, but I wish it said how much blood magic or LP it requires to activate. We do have how much? We have 140,000, so that should be good enough. We just need the activation sigil, which is something we also don't have. Why did we never make these? Evidently the quest book never had us make this stuff. Where is the ritual stuff? So, upgraded altar, ritual. Yeah, it just gave us the inscriptions, and it never really bothered to have us do anything else with it. So, interesting. So we need the activation crystal. We're going to use a weak activation crystal, which is a lava crystal, which is pretty easy to make. So, do I have? Nope. We're going to need 3 buckets of lava, and we need to eat some rotten flesh. I really hate warp. So 3 buckets of lava should not be a problem. So 1, 2, 3. And we should be able to do the rest of this. So these guys go here. Can we use the apprentice blood orb? We can. And that makes a lava crystal. Those you can put into furnaces to kind of act as a fuel source. But there we go. But if we put this into our blood altar, it'll make the activation crystal. Now, the awaken activation crystal, which is used for more stuff, does require either another star or a demon blood shard. It's not terrible to make, it's just not as nice as this one is. So, there we go. Activate it to ourselves, and I want to see what happens if we activate this ritual, whether or not it matters. So let's just, let's do this intelligently. So we have 143, 260. Activate. And that took, looks like 5,000 LP, but no soul corruption. So let's break that. Let's actually break all of the stuff. And we'll get normal runes back, which is nice. If you want to make the earth runes or whatever you want with that, all you need to do is use the inscription stuff, the little ink things that we use to make these. So the recipe for this, so these inscription tools, and you can write on the actual like block. So let's put this stuff away, and let's try a different ritual. So ritual diviner, we're going to filler, hemisiphoning. We need to go all the way through to, what was it called? Not Convocation of the Dam. That's for the demon summoning, the demon village stuff. Drill of the Dead. That is what it's called. And this one requires 36 runes, and they're all dust stones. So we need 36 ritual stones. And I believe that is just upgraded blood runes. Nope, just reinforced slates. Lots of reinforced slates. So that is fine. We can deal with that. Let's get... So we need... Hold on. I need to think. We need what? 36. We have 10, so we need 26 more. So 28 is how many we need to make. And so we'll just switch those out. There's 11. And then I think if we just grab stone 17, that is all we need to do. So we just gotta do this. We gotta kill enough of these guys. And here's the cool thing. We can actually put this underneath the altar. It'll fit under the altar and it should reach these guys. And we'll be able to automatically fill this. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is we'll just need to activate it and deactivate it a bunch of times. But yeah, this will take a little bit. Shouldn't take too long, because luckily it doesn't require too much blood. So while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and look at our quest book and see what else we can do. So, can't do anything with the Eldritch. Learning the skyblock has no quest. This one has 2 quests, one which is impossible to complete. We can make all the other stuff if we want, but there's nothing else that we can do there. And then getting chocolate by infusing our cows. Now that's something I need to do a little bit of research on, unfortunately, because I've never messed with that. That is Thalmic Horizons, and it is cow infusions. So general infusions, Quicksilver limbs, Thaumium claws. Yeah, most of that stuff we don't really care about. But it's the infusion vat that we need to look at. So I wish there was a little bit more like stuff we could look at this. So yeah, this is what we'll have to make. And specialized vat, which diagnoses the patient and pipes in the appropriate essentially to treat them. So creatures captured in water jars can be placed into the vat by right-clicking the jar with a hand. Same process with an empty jar to extract a creature. So don't break the vat, it kills them. But yeah, so there's that. We'll have to give them loyalty as well. And that is something that's going to be difficult enough. Now, do we have saddles? We do. Alright, is this done yet? So that's something I'm going to have to really look into and figure out how it works. And hopefully we can deal with the mobs and getting their loyalty and making chocolate cows. Because we need to do that for one of the bigger quests later. Nothing in Power Grid. Thaumcraft has a bunch of stuff. We could do some of these kind of one-off quests, but for the most part, until we get Taint spreading over here, we're not going to be able to do much here. And yeah, I just need to throw more Taint over here, and hopefully one of these guys will grow and start to corrupt stuff, so we can get a Taint tendril, and that's all we need for that one. But most of the stuff, like the animation core, requires us to go to the Eldritch dimension, so that's gonna be fun. Bees and trees, we're working on that. I don't know why these guys are not auto. Let's go ahead and give them a automation upgrade. They might be poisoning, I don't know, but plenty of mysterious combs, and that is making our pulsating propolis, and that makes the pulsating meshes, which is 16 of those. So we're relatively close to that one. Let's see. Actually, I want to do this in here because it's a bee product. I want to keep all the bee stuff with the bee stuff. So there is 10 of those. So we're getting close on that one. And then really there's not too much more after that. So let's see. We have plenty of lore fragments, which I like to use to get plenty of knowledge fragments so that we can get research points so that I can do more research. And yeah, let's see what other quests we have available. So I don't think there's too much else. Applied Energistics has something, but we don't know about it yet. And then we have 3 for the Hoarding. B&A, which should not be too bad to do. Chocolate milk, which we need the chocolate cows for. and then cyanide ingots. So all that stuff is terrible, but not super great. But we'll get there. So let's kill all these guys. We have 16 of those. Let's go ahead and start making the ritual stones. And not the master one, just the normal. So 1, 2, we need 36 in total. We have 22 so far. We need more obsidian. That is something. Don't we have this guy? Yeah, so we can take plenty of obsidian there. And I'm just going to let that kind of do its thing. Yeah, that'll work just fine. So BNA is something we could probably work on real quick. While we're waiting for this to finish up, let's just top its blood off. It is almost there. I believe it takes like 3,000 LP just to do each one. It's not that bad, actually. But what we can do is work on the BNA a little bit. So to get the BNA, we're going to need... let's see... Do we have that machine? I don't believe we do. Now, I do want an iron drum. So we're going to want to do something like this. 2 of those. 1 of these. And then we can make the iron drum, no problem. And I believe the machine we need is a... Is it this one? DNA extractor? So do we have one? We do not. Alright, so what all do we need for it? We need sturdy casing, 4 gears. I really like having all this stuff auto-craftable. We're going to need 2 genetics and 1 power module. So 2 of these. And a power module. And we'll need to make 4 more gears because it's going to use those. And there we go. There's the DNA extractor. Now let's go ahead and let's see. Let's get some flux ducts so that we can get some power to this guy. We're gonna want a hopper and a chest. And probably a fluid duct. So I think that'll be good. Do we have power over here? We do. Actually, right here would work just fine. So flux duct, DNA extractor, and we do need labware, it looks like. But that there. Actually, let's not use hoppers. Let's use item ducts. So we're gonna need another servo and item duct, and finally the labware, which I've made a ton of because why not? So item duct, fluid duct, chest, and drum. Servos not there. Let's take that off. Servos here and here. Labware goes in there, and then all we have to do is grab a bunch of extra bees, which we have tons of. Any others that we just have insane amounts of? There's a bunch of sorceress. I'll take half a stack of the unusuals, and I think we can even put labware. Let's see. Let's take another stack, And I just want to see if we take this out. Actually, let's put those guys in. It processes and all that kind of stuff. But if we put that in there, will it autofill? It does. So it's smart enough for that. So we just put all that stuff in there. I don't know if it needs a labware for each individual. It doesn't look like it. Looks like it has a chance to use it maybe every once in a while. But that will start creating BNA, as I like to call it. It's liquid DNA. You can use this to build your own bees. They're usually pretty unstable. It's not something I recommend, but it is something you can do. But that will fill up. And once we have, what is it, 50 buckets? 500 buckets worth. We will be able to do stuff with that. So we should be close on this. If not, yeah, we're really close on this. So let's finish getting all of this stuff, and I'm just going to do something like that. We're going to make the last of this, so we need 36. Cool. And I want to make sure I don't have any slates in there. Perfect. Take this out, and what we can do is we're going to put that there, and I'll deal with that later. So I believe you can put this underneath your altar, and it will automatically kind of do its thing. So and it magically fits. And is it done? No. Something is in the way. So it's got to be something underneath, and it's got to be something that's asymmetrical, probably. So I'm not really seeing anything. Those go up to... I doubt that it's the glass. There's two there, there's two there. Maybe it's done? Can we activate it? Nothing appears to have happened. Okay, so I had 38, so I need to get... There's 6 more runes that I can't place somewhere. Where would that be? Let's break some of these blocks and see where things might want to go. Because that's really the only thing that I can figure. I don't remember what this ritual looks like. But I believe it is actually the same as another one, so let's see if this book has pictures. We want to go back. Rituals, we're going to want the Well of Suffering. So it goes up like that. It's like a staircase. Okay, so that is probably the issue, is it wants that block. We have 6 still. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So it's the same ritual, it's just replaced with whoa. What just happened? Why did that happen? They must have seen me through the bottom or something. That was weird. It doesn't look like it destroyed anything, so no big deal, but let's grab some stone bricks. I broke the lever, so that's fine. But yeah, so that should be everything. And then what we can do is just come down here and hopefully be able to activate it. And then what activating it will do is instantly kill all the mobs. We need the stronger activation crystal. Okay, so let's make that. That's fine. That's not too bad. We need another star, so let's go ahead and start summoning in some wither skeletons. We're just going to do the nether star version because it's easier. So we need the awakened. I kind of guessed about that, but so Incendium, Aether, Aqua Salis, weak, and a nether star. 10,000 LP, nothing too bad. So we just need 3 wither skulls. And that should not be too difficult for us. Let's go ahead and get things making everything else. So we need ink sacks for this guy and 3 water bottles. So let's just get bottles. 1, 2, 3. And get the water. Alright, let's put our master blood orb in here because it's going to make things easier. And then we need simple catalyst. We can put this away. Cool. So it's just going to be a matter of killing a wither. Nothing too difficult. Which is funny to say, but it's true. At this point, the wither is not a threat to us. So there's the Aqua Alice stuff. We can get rid of this stuff, and the ritual stones we'll put in here. And what we can do is, if this will corrupt our soul, then we can just activate it every once in a while. We can just kind of activate it repeatedly until we have enough corruption to make the ore lumps. So we need a bucket of lava, netherrack, and blaze powder. Netherrack. And I have a bucket on me, so just go grab this. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. So just kind of gotta do what we gotta do. It's not that big of a problem, it's just a matter of getting everything finished. And wither skeletons, time to die again. We haven't got any skulls though, which is kind of surprising. I guess it's a 70% chance. That's a good bit. So we have that. We have this. The last one we need is Aether, which is 2 feathers, glowstone, and gas tier. So feathers and glowstone. And then we'll be able to make the awakened crystal once we have our soul sand. We have 3 of them. Alright, just want to make sure it was crafting. Alright, cool. So all we have to do is kill enough wither skeletons to get the skulls. Ow. They snuck up on me. There we go. There's 1. And then we make a wither, we kill the wither, and everything is easy. So go ahead and start building them. So once we have that, we'll be able to activate the crystal. We'll be able to get the awakened activation crystal, which will allow us to use the ritual. And once we can use the ritual, we can then abuse being able to activate it, which is just going to take a lot of blood. And basically the idea is we activate it, we break the master ritual stone, we place it back, we activate it, and just kind of repeat that process until we have enough soul corruption to get the effects that we need. So we should be able to make the blood cleanser in the next episode. That is the plan anyways. So let's get to that point and then call it a day. So we're kind of getting to the point where I need to just kind of wait around for bad things to happen. And that's not fun. Otherwise, I really don't know what else to do. Like, we need to get the Crimson Rights in order to be able to craft the Eldritch Eyes. And in order to do that, we need to have the actual portals, but we can't make those. It's a pain. I've seen other packs, such as Regrowth, which disables all of the Eldritch Obelisks, and thus all the Crimson Cultists from spawning. They allow you to make the Crimson Rights in a recipe. It's a complicated blood magic recipe, actually, I believe. Or, no, it's a ritual. It's a ritual that uses blood magic. It does a lot of things. But this pack doesn't allow you to do that, so a little bit of a bummer. But at the same time, kind of whatever. We just need to get the soul corruption up to 20. And once that happens, we'll be good to go. So I really wish these skeletons would do something. Just trying to think what's going to be the next best thing to do. The B&A is something that's going to take a while. We're going to need... We get the necrotic bones. We don't get skulls. We have a 70% chance. That should not be that bad. We have 7 buckets of B&A, and this has barely done anything. So that is definitely the way we're going to go with that. Getting the B&A. Now, princesses and queens would be better to use for that, but since drones are highly replaceable, it's not that big of a deal. So, like, do you only have a fertility of 1? If that's the case, that's not good. But we have plenty of bee stuff kind of doing its thing. And we might actually have the propolis that we need. So there's 2 more. Pulsating meshes, so we have 12 of those. We only need 16, so we're really close to that. And there's the last skull. Let's turn that off. Let's put this stuff away. Let's summon the Wither, and that will allow us to make the Awakened Crystal. So that is pretty much that. Just stand behind here. I can shoot him with the crossbow, or we can just hit him. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, let's just hit him with the sword, and he's dead. We have the Nether Star, and that's all we need. So we have more than enough LP to do this ritual. Or I guess it's alchemy. And that'll make the Awakened Crystal. The Awakened Crystal can do pretty much all of the... well, it can do all of the rituals that the normal one can do, as well as the additional ones, such as this, whatever it's called, Something of the Dead. So, bind it to yourself, and we should be able to just come down here and activate it. We should have all those monsters die up above us. And yeah, that's not too bad. Now we break it, and that used a lot of LP. So what we can do... Oh, wow. Let's go ahead and put our Blood Orb, our Archmage's Blood Orb, in here to absorb all of the LP. We're going to have so much experience. We should make the Rosa Arcanum. That is a flower in Botania in this version, right? Let's see. It is. We should make the Rosa Arcanum. That would be something that would be useful for our levels. And it's not too hard to make, so I might do that quickly next episode, just so I can get rid of all these levels. And that will allow us to kind of get more mana taken care of and all that kind of stuff. So let's see, we have 115 LP. I just want to see how much it costs to activate that ritual. And as we can see, our soul corruption is now 1. So we're going to have to do that 19 more times. So I'm going to let some stuff spawn a little bit. And yeah, so we have 115. We activate the Drill of the Dead. That's what it's called. And then we have 65. So that costs, I believe it's 50. 50,000 LP each time. But our soul corruption is now 2. So that is something we can do. So what I am going to do is, let's stop with the blood magic for now. We're going to step away from this, and we might go back to Thaumcraft a little bit. I think I'm going to look into how to make the infused mobs. I think that is going to be the plan, and basically we're just going to kind of go back and forth every once in a while when there's a bunch of mobs in there, activate the ritual, get a bunch of blood, and be on our merry way. So I am going to end the episode here. Next time, like I said, we're going to probably work on getting the infused cows so that we can start milking them and getting all of the sweet chocolate milk. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!